Now, of course, the area you're looking at now, that used to be used for, on this side, oh, my head, on that side used to be equipment, dinghy, flares, ammunition for the machine guns, which used to be around the blisters here. There used to be a machine gun here and another one on the other side, so the ammunition for those would be stored here. And on this side you used to have pair of bunks, bearing in mind these aeroplanes had a tremendous range and endurance, so when they were out on convoy escorts or air sea rescue duties they could be out for many hours, 14 hours easy, 14 hours upwards. I've actually seen a veteran's logbook with 22 hours of a single patrol. It's a long time. So you could carry spare crew. Now, quite important here, you can see the contour of the aircraft there. On the pure flying boat version, not the amphibian, that contour will carry on down, so you have a lot more space in the middle here. But because this is an amphibian, the main wheel structure comes inside an awful lot.
This is the main wheel bay.
The main wheels are here. That's the part of where the main wheel mechanism goes. But otherwise this would have been the same size as the room you're in there. When this was a water bomber, you would have just down there would have been a scoop where they could scoop up the water off the lake and come into a tank where I'm stood now. This area would be a tank. Again, on a wartime aeroplane, right up here you would have had the flight engineer's position. That's why you've got two little windows. Quite a few people said, why are the windows up there when you can't reach them? That's simply because that used to be the flight engineer's seat. The flight engineer used to have a duplicate set of engine and propeller controls here.
And he would sit here.
He would sit there, and there's his controls there. Now, of course, this aeroplane is very modern. It's fly-by-wire. Steel wires, and it's all manual. There's no power flying control.
Muscle induced.
All muscle induced, yes. Interesting little feature here is this big red handle. Now, the floats retract into the wingtips. So as you look on the outside of the aeroplane now, the floats are retracted and form the wingtips. Normally they're electrically operated, but if the electrical operation fails, you use that handle in those two lugs there. That one is a high gear, that one's a low gear, and you can hand wind them down or up depending on what you need. It's hard work as well if you don't put it on the low gear when you need to, but that works. Now, normal float operation is with this electric motor here driving the gearbox here. You can see the shaft going vertically upwards there and up into the pylon on the wing front spar, and another gearbox, and the shafts go out to the wingtips, and then the wing floats themselves are operated by screw jacks. They come down or go up. So when you're hand winding this, you're hand winding all that shafting system.
But the transmission works.
Yeah, it works. It's simple and it works a treat. All this here is original structure. It's in really good condition. All that is all original from when it was built.
And it's easily certified now for safe operation.
Remarkably, yes. We've just renewed the certificate of airworthiness in April for another 3 years.
So that's a testament of its safety and
certainly is,
education.
yeah, that's right. It's simple. It's not pressurised, so you haven't got any fatigue cycles on the fuselage or anything silly like that. On a wartime aeroplane, you would not have that big picture window there. That would be a very small one, about that size there. And similarly on this side of the aeroplane, on the port side, you would not normally have a big hatch like that. You'd have one which would be in there, again with a small window. That's a post-war conversion, modification, that's right. An old wartime version, on this side you would have the navigator's bench, you'd have his table for his charts, you'd have his compass, his airspeed indicator, his altimeter and various other instruments. And on the starboard side would have been the wireless operator's station. He would have had the big old-fashioned big square radio sets. You also have an HF trailing aerial which you would have to wind out and trail underneath the aircraft.
From longer range transmission.
That's right, yep. That's how you get the range on the HF aerials. It is a long trailing aerial. So that is the old-fashioned style radio. These days, as you'll see shortly when you look in the cockpit, it's rather more modern. You can go up there if you wish and look through, and you can see straight away we have twin GPS Navcom systems. We've got a nice DME, we've got ADF and we've got ILS. So all the necessary modern conveniences are here. The column itself is original. So those big red wheels are original. The magneto switches just to the right of the captain's control wheel are original. And all those other switches, which are self-explanatory by the labelling on them, they're all original, those. Everything is designed for a man in here. Big rudder pedals, nice big red undercarriage selector lever, and the throttles are the long levers coming out of the roof, and next to those are the propeller levers, and then here we have the mixture levers, and then the trim controls are these handles here.
So really a pilot's airplane.
It is really a pilot's airplane, that's exactly right.
Fascinating.